Hey everybody, this is Glen Biggs, Community Arts of Bellevue. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm so glad y'all are here. Probably can't hear me. Okay, here we go. How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me now? So glad to have you with us this evening. This is a Live from the Views, part of the Live from the Views series from the Community Arts of Bellevue. We're coming to you live from Bellevue tonight. And we're just excited that you're here with us. So this is our holiday card show. I know it's like the first week of December. For some people, it's like, that may be a little late, but I don't think so. I'm just now kind of getting into the Christmas spirit. We're just now getting rid of Thanksgiving. So what I'm going to show you tonight is something I've been doing for many, many, many years. So you're in my studio. I've done this for years, is make my own holiday cards. I can say this, I don't make them for everybody. I make them for special people, because they take some time. Some of them do, and some of them are just, can be very special. I do very special ones for very special people, and that just means a lot to me. Very sentimental. It's a tradition. I love traditions. For years, when my family had a small farm up in Kentucky, we made our own Christmas wreaths for, 30 years. And I loved doing that. And I've got some great photographs. But we sold the place last year, so I don't have access to that right now. So I'm leaning into my Christmas cards this year. So I'm going to do several different mediums in Christmas cards that you can do. I think these are all very simple, very easy, very accessible. You can do them at home. The materials are things that you can go to Michael's and pick up or order on Amazon.com. I don't really have a materials list per se. I'm just going to kind of walk through and show you what I'm using. And if you have any questions, you can always email me if you want to and say, what did you use for, or how did you do that? And my email address is Glen, Glen, 1N, at caofb.org. And that's Glen at caofb.org, which is Community Arts of Bellevue, caofb.org. Feel free to email me at any time. So I'm going to start off with us tonight. If I can find all my stuff. We're going to do, this is kind of a mock-up that I just kind of did very quickly last night. I'm not sure that you can even see what I've got going on here. There you go. There it is. So it's a snowflake, right? So I really like Matisse. I have always enjoyed doing paper cuts a lot. I think they're fun. You can do paper cuts, go back and look at Matisse. He did a ton of paper cut stuff. So if I'm going to do paper cuts, then why don't I just do them, for Christmas ornaments as well? So little hint here, in that you can find so many great YouTubes up there on how to make paper cut snowflakes with different patterns and different ways and stuff. And I encourage you to go and look at those and do that as well. So I'm going to start off with tonight, and that what you'll find is that, let's just get started, shall we? I'm going to try to swing the camera around, and we'll try to tilt it. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So you're going to start off with square sheets of paper to do this with. And I'm just using regular printer paper here, right? It's not special paper in any way, form, or fashion. The only trick here is that you really want some really good scissors to use. So it's nice to invest. These are not really the best, but invest in some nice, good scissors that'll cut paper. And sometimes, some scissors are even made specifically for cutting paper. I'm sorry, that's kind of aggravating that you can't. See me? There we go. That you can't, that some scissors are specifically for specific things. Paper scissors are probably the better ones. If you use some really great scissors, then you can probably go up into like some probably heavier pound papers to use as well, to do this with. So if you'll bear with me just a moment, I need to grab something. Okay, I'm back. So like I said, I'm just going to use regular printer paper for this one tonight. And on here, I cut my papers into squares. It doesn't matter what size square you use. I think this one's a 5 by 5, I think is what I cut this one into, out of 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Maybe it's, I think it's 5.5 by 5.5 because it's 11 inches. So I just cut it in half, right? And then cut it again. By the way, when you're on Community Arts of Bellevue and you're on one of our shows and you're just sitting back and relaxing and enjoying the show, I also invite you to also have a glass of wine or whatever you'd like to have with us. It's a happy hour. That's how I look at it. Back to our show. So if you will, fold your piece of paper in half, okay? Make a triangle, set just like this, okay? And we'll come back to the table. And that was just simply me folding over the paper and making a triangle in half, okay? Then I kind of take it and fold it again, but I don't really dent. I need to find out where my halfway mark is there. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna mark it. So that's my halfway point. So now I'm going to take the one side of the paper. I'm going to cross it over right at that halfway point, and I'm going to come about a third of the way down on the paper and put a fold. Okay. So right at the halfway point, which I did not exactly do. I'm not following my own instructions very well. About a third of the way down, crease. So it'll be like that. Okay. Turn it over, and I want you to now take the other. Well, sometimes I get myself confused. There we go. You're going to take the other corner from the back side of that and fold it up, even with your paper. And now you should have 3 points at the top that are pretty even with each other, right? See how that works? I'm going to unfold it, and you'll see, right, they're folded kind of in a Z pattern, okay? One's on the front, one's on the back. Okay, now I'm going to take that and fold in half again so that my points all line up and fold it in half. That easy, okay? Now comes the fun part. I don't know if you can see this or not. There are so many patterns you can use to do this with. I think I'll just draw it, let you see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to draw this pattern on the back of this. It's going to look like this. I'm going to come down, and we'll drop it to like a little arrowhead, as such, and off to the side, just like that. Then over here, not jink, chink. Okay, so there's the drawing I did on that. Very simple. I'm going to put an X here, here. Oh, one more across the bottom here, and there. Now, as you can see, I did an X, an X, and an X there. Those are the places I'm going to cut with my scissors. Okay, so I'm going to take all that paper out of this triangle. Here we go. I feel like I should be playing some Christmas music while we're doing this. But hopefully, maybe you're playing some Christmas music along with me. Got your wine out yet? Okay, so I'm going to cut over here. So this X is going to go out. We'll go down through here. We'll go out. Right. Go there. With this, you have to be very careful not to cut away things you don't think you're cutting away. Sometimes these tight corners get tight. Okay, got it. Voila. There we go. Are we ready for the magic? Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. You know, I can't always say what this is actually going to look like. So let's just kind of unfold it little by little, by little, by little, by little, by little. Ooh, this is a good one. I might be a little proud of myself tonight. And then, voila. And voila, and voila. And you have a beautiful paper cut snowflake. Voila, just like that. Which I think are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so here's what I do from this point. Now, if you want to, I mean, you can do so many cool things with this. Get back up. You do so many cool things with these. I mean, you can make them, these can be simply your Christmas ornaments on your tree if you wanted to. They can be, you know, whatever you want them to be. Doesn't matter. You can place them on plates at your dinner setting. You can do whatever. Put people's names on them. But I think they're beautiful. So with mine, and a lot of people also go back and iron them. You can go up and just set your iron on high and steam and put it between. I always used to put them between like 2 sheets of brown paper, like brown paper bags, and hit that steam button on there, and it comes through and it really like, and they're beautiful. They're very pressed, like it just came from the dry cleaners. So there's how you do that. Now, from that point, I'm gonna clean up my surface just a little bit. What I do from here is I'm going to now glitter my snowflake up. I mean, who doesn't love a little glitter at the holidays? Yes, it's time for cheers. Who doesn't love some good snowflake glitter during the holidays? So I have, I know this is, so I have just got like tons of different glitters that I kind of keep around, just mainly for this. And these are 2 glitters, copper and multi, whatever they call it. I don't even know. It's just red, green. It's all different colors. This one's definitely copper. I've just had these. I mean, I've had these for years and years and years, because it doesn't take but just a little to do a project with. Tonight, this is a new one that I just found at Michael's. I thought it was cool. Look at how fun this is. Just kind of pretty. I haven't even opened it up yet. It'll probably explode, and we'll have a. Oh, good. We're good. We're golden. But before I spill it and all over the place, do that. So from here, what I usually do is I use a 3M general purpose adhesive. Okay. Let me get over here, get in the light. I'm sorry, all over the place because my camera runs backwards like this. So it's 3M general purpose 45. It's just general adhesive. It's just good spray adhesive, and I use this for a lot of things. I usually actually use this at work a lot too. Here's one important thing. Do this outside. I'm following protocol. Do this outside, right? Or a very well ventilated area. Also, make sure that you have down some covering, because this stuff kind of flies a little bit. Not in a bad way, but it does have a way of getting things sticky. So just be mindful of getting sticky. So I'm going to spray my little snowflake. And it doesn't take a whole lot, right? That's good. And then after you spray that, take it off of what you just sprayed on, because otherwise you're going to get sequins all over that as well. And from there, I'm going to take just a sheet of paper like this, place it there. And then let's just go ahead and throw some sequins all over this thing. And just go ahead and butter it up. Just pour a whole bunch on there. Whatever doesn't stick, you can pour back into the bottle. Press them down on there a little good, really well. I'm going to put a little more over here. Okay. And then I want to pick it up, dust it off. And voila, you have this really cool snowflake. Can you see it? I'm not showing it to you very well. It's absolutely stunning. It really is. I love that glitter. That's all new. If you got whatever you got left over here, right, just pick your paper up and pour it all right back into the bottle. And that way you really don't waste hardly any. I mean, seriously. Now, you are going to have glitter all over your house or your workspace or wherever you're at. And in my case, I don't care. That's totally fine with me. Get it off my hands a little bit. Wow, that's really pretty. So what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to just lay another piece of paper over it. And I got this roller that I use. It's actually a pizza roller. But I'm just going to do this, and that way I can make sure that all those sequins are mashed into and adhering perfectly to the snowflake. Yeah, gorgeous. Wow, those are pretty. I love that. And here's what I do from here. You can get this at Michael's, and these are just the value pack of cards. You can go nicer. You can get nicer cards, but I do these. I also ordered them on Amazon before, and that's a good source to get them. But Michael's is here in Bellevue, so I like to support local businesses, even though, as much as possible, as local as possible. So here's my card. I don't know what size these are. These are 6.5 by 5s. Okay. They're standard Christmas cards. Then you got to figure out your first decision is going to have to be: do I go landscape or do I go portrait with my card? Do I want to open it this way or do I want it to open this way? Totally up to you. I lean into doing horizontal landscape. I don't know why, but I just kind of do. It's just who I am as a person. Wow, isn't that cool? Beautiful. So from there, I'm going to get a little more of this glitter up. I was on a call today with some folks, and they were talking about that glitter was not allowed in their house. I'm like, oh, that's sad. Every house should have some glitter in it. I'm going to put the top back on because, like I said, I'll knock it over and have an explosion. So from there, I'm going to bring that sheet back that I sprayed on earlier. I'm going to turn my snowflake over on the back side, and now I'm going to spray the back side with a nice little healthy dose of spray adhesive. Take your card, and it doesn't matter if it's bigger than the card or not, okay? To me, I don't care. Okay, sorry. So I just spray my snowflake on the back side with the adhesive. And now I'm going to take it and like very gently place it on my card. You know, as any good artist will tell you, never put it in the center. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Now, if you'll notice, my snowflake is bigger than my card. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it over the back of the card. Who cares? Right? Yeah. Who cares? It's good. Lovely. Now, look at this. Voila. There is, I mean, that's really gorgeous. Who would not want to receive that and go, wow, it's a Glen Biggs original? And yes, I do sign my cards on the back and date them because they are original pieces of artwork. I don't consider this necessarily crafting per se, although you could, but I think these are totally works of art. And they're just crazy cool. So what I do from there usually is, hang on, let me grab these. Is that I've got a slew of rubber stamps, holiday rubber stamps, okay, of all kinds, different sizes, different wordings, different whatever you're feeling. So in this specific card, I just kind of search out and go, well, okay, what am I kind of feeling here? Michael's has a nice selection. There's also the Paper Source down in Green Hills at Hill Center. I get some rubber stamps from them sometimes. I mean, this is probably one of my favorites that I use a lot. I just think it speaks to me a lot. Okay, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and just use that one for tonight. And from there, I'm going to, you can do a rubber stamp on the outside of the card if you wanted to say something, or you could handwrite something. You don't have to use rubber stamps. I do, but I mean, I also handwrite. I've got some silver and gold and copper Sharpies and pens I like to use. So you can always do some additional art to the card, just completely whatever your flavor is. So I'm going to, with this, I'm using that stamp, but I'm using like a blue, it's called Harbor. It's a really very watery, colory blue, darker blue. I'm going to put on that. Come into the middle of my stamp. And then you just got to work it in really, really, really well. Okay. All directions, left, right, up, and down, left, right, up, and down. See what happens. Wow. Can you see it? Wow. I like that. I'm happy. Now, granted, when they open their card, they may have a little bit of a glitter explosion inside the envelope. Good for them. Lucky them to have a glitter explosion inside their envelope. I like that. That may be my card of the year. Happy, 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 happy. Rubber stamps I also want to mention are extremely easy to clean up. You know, I just spray them down with, I can't see with my camera up like that. I just usually, just spray them with some water and, use a paper towel on them. That's all they really require, but you do want to clean them really good after you use them, because if you don't, the ink makes the rubber harden and they become not usable. So I always make sure I clean my stamps really good after I use them. And they will last you for years, Okay, so there's the first of our stuff for this evening, which is going to be in the snowflakes. Like I said, there's another one I did earlier this evening with some different. Good Lord, that lighting is murderous. There we go. That's just more of a regular glitter. It was two different ones, white and green. So there you go. There's that. Okay, next. This is something that's kind of new, but I am addicted to it. You may or may not have ever heard of these, but they're called alcohol inks. And you can get these at Michael's. These are Ranger, I think is the name of them. Yeah, Ranger. I got glitter all over me. In my hands too. These are made by Ranger. There's another brand, Adirondack. Oh, Pinata. Also Pinatas. I think Michael's carries these. I know Plaza Arts downtown also carries these as well. And I use both. They're interchangeable, but I think Ranger kind of was the company that pioneered these alcohol inks. They're very interesting. You can do so many different crazy things with them. Look them up on YouTube. I mean, a ton of people do a lot of YouTube videos about using these inks. One of the fun things that I've done with them is use them like on ceramic tiles. Like take a off-white or a white bathroom ceramic tile. Go to Home Depot and get you a cheap box for $7 of those tiles. And these inks just flow on those tiles. Or, as you're going to see tonight, I use what's called Yupo paper. You've probably never seen this, or maybe you have. Yupo paper is a synthetic paper. It is it's non-porous, so it doesn't sink. So paints don't sink into it like it doesn't like watercolor paper, right? But the alcohol inks love this paper. You can buy it a number of different ways. You can buy it in a full sheet like you do like watercolor paper. You can also buy it, well, I have a pad of it up here somewhere. Don't know where it went. I had it last night because I was working with it. You can buy it in pads of different sheets. You can buy it, I know it's here because I really did just use it earlier today. Oh, there it is. Like here, you can buy this in a pad of sheets, just like you would acrylic or watercolor paper. It's called Yupo paper. This one's by Legion. Again, Michael's carries the Ranger company, which makes alcohol inks, also carries that. Plaza Arts downtown or online has a really big selection of Yupo paper to choose from, and it's getting more accessible. I mean, you can find different colors, different translucent opaqueness, because some are very opaque like this, some are more translucent, and also different weights. That hasn't always been the case, but now you can. This paper I bought from Michael's, and it's in the Ranger series, and it's lightweight, easy to use. So let me show you a little bit about what you can do with alcohol inks. So back to my table. Sorry I keep going back and forth. This software kind of plays in my head a little bit. So with this, you choose your colors in your palette. Tonight, there are some new ones that they had at the store that I did not have before. And I was like, well, I am going to try those because they sound cool. They're alcohols, but they're pearls. They're called pearl inks. So I have this one's called Celestial. It's a blue. This one's called Mineral. It's kind of a coppery color. And this one's called Smolder, and it's kind of a smoke color. They're beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. And then I've also got some greens and reds, which I thought was kind of Christmassy. Some silvers and golds. And then some coppers and more silvers. These are a little bit different. These have sponge heads. So you can create a background if you want to. And we might do that on a card here in a moment. So these are called distress stains. So these have little balls in them, so I'm going to shake them up really good before I use them. Don't worry about it. So let me show you what you can do with this. Can you see this very well? I hope so. Let me get down a little bit. All right. Now, you can have some control over this, but try to have as little as possible and just let it all kind of happen. And I'm just letting it kind of drip out of the bottle. Okay, let it go. So can you see that beautiful blue? Okay, if you want, you can actually kind of pick it up and let it run and drip down your papers if you want. That gives a beautiful dramatic effect. The nice cool, here comes the really cool part. Now you can drip colors in two colors and they start exploding. And I'm not sure you're really capturing the essence of what that looks like. Let's see, let me get it up here. So really, see how they explode, but they stay inside the color. And again, I'm letting it run through and drip. Okay. These alcohols are just dynamic. I mean, you can kind of write with them, swirl with them. Okay. But they are alcohol and they will dry fast. Now, the more alcohol you put on the paper, the slower the drying process is going to be. But now I'm just going to put some of these, those copper hints into that blue and smoke. And just because I want to, I'm also going to drop in, and I've had these for years, so they're kind of getting old. And okay, I'm dropping in just a little bit of silver there. And if I want to, I can take a brush and swirl through a little bit, kind of like you would like cake icing, and create this super dramatic effect, right? How beautiful. I mean, how long did that take me? Just some moments, just a few moments of this. You can't see it on this camera, but it's got a very pearlescent, glittery, beautiful finish to it. Let me just show you this. This is one I did last night. These same inks, okay? Did last night. It's dry. It does have a little bit of a texture to it, but not bad. And then I took that same blue with a different ink stamp and created my Happy Holidays on it. So that's a great idea. And here's what I do with that one on the card. And also fast. Do you notice how fast that was? So alcohol inks are really cool. Here's another thing. Let me just show this real quickly before I move on. You can also, this is my board that I work on. And on this board, I also, let me clean it just a little bit. I got glitter all over the place. Okay. Alcohol inks are really cool. This is another thing that you can do with them. This is the fun part. On here, I have got just some contact paper that I bought at Ace Hardware. It's just vinyl contact paper that you would line your cabinets with. And I have a piece of wood that I have cut, and I've had these cut at Home Depot. It's just basswood, right? Just really lightweight, thin boards. And I have a whole slew of these because this is also what I use to paint on. But this particular one, I have contact paper on, and it's getting old and roughed up. I need to put some new in, but I got a whole roll of this stuff. I can anytime redo these boards or add new boards to it, just new contact paper. But here's the cool part. Here's where you go have fun. Take these alcohol inks and just put them directly on the surface like this. Okay, I'm going to put some reds into this one, I think. Chili pepper. Let's do some chili pepper, shall we? Put some chili pepper into that blue. And then I'm also going to put me some silver in there too. Blue, reds, and silvers. How cool is that? How Christmassy is that? Now, here's where it gets to be fun. Take your UPO paper. I just already cut me some sheets up. And you can just drag it through the inks. And you have this beautiful design. I mean, how cool is that? And if you want to go back and pick up a little more blue in an area, I can go back and pick up some blues in an area. Some grays. If I want to add to it, I can add to it. Okay? And create a little bit more dramatic effect on it. They're gorgeous. They're absolutely stunning. And everyone's going to be like, what? How did you do that? They're absolutely beautiful. So just wanted to show you that because that's something you can do here. And then I just take my, whoop, that was water. You don't want to use water. It won't work nearly as well as if you used alcohol in it. And like I said, this board is getting old, so it doesn't clean as easy as it used to. That's all right. There's also some stuff called blending solutions here that will help your colors really start running together better. And look, you can just clean this stuff right up off your table and be done. Like I said, this is old and I've cut and worked on it for years, so here it is. Okay, so I can take that piece now. I can add a rubber stamp, or if I want to, take my Sharpies or gold pens and write Happy Holidays or whatever you want to, thinking of you. And there you have it. Now, here's what I usually do from here, is I take a piece of this is a watercolor paper. This is actually very inexpensive Strathmore paper from Michaels. I like it because I like the texture and the feel of the watercolor paper because, you know, I'm a watercolorist at heart. And turn over so you can't see my pencil marks. And then from there, I'm going to take my Happy Holidays and I'm going to adhere it to the watercolor paper. Again, I just take a regular Elmer's glue stick, go across the back of this piece here, right? And then secure it to the back of to the watercolor paper as such. Oh crap. Kind of smeared it there a little bit. Okay, so now it's on the watercolor paper. I didn't let my Happy Holidays dry all the way. And then from there, I can take that adhere it to the front of the card. I really kind of messed that up, but I was in a hurry. Sorry. But you get the idea here. And then you got this really cool, beautiful card that anybody would love to get. I'm batting 1,000 here tonight. That's okay. I can also use the spray adhesive on this. But normally I would take that, adhere it to the card as such, and then I would put it in between some book pages to weight it down and let it dry. But it's beautiful. It really is. So there's card number 2 this evening that I wanted to show you. One more for tonight, I think. Alcohol inks. Try them out. They're fun. They're so cool. They are so cool. Can you see it? Beautiful. You can do so much with them. Like I said, with the ceramic tiles, you can do those, and they make the most beautiful, like coasters that you can use in your living room. You just want to spray a lacquer over the top of it once it's all really well seasoned and dry, and put some little rubber or felt points on the backside so it doesn't scratch your furniture. But they make beautiful coasters or all kinds of things. You actually can go online and you can buy the frames, 6x6 or 8x8 or 12x12, whatever size your tiles you're using. You can buy the frames to lay the tiles into, and it can be a piece of work of art to go on your wall. Just so you know about that. The last piece I want to show you tonight was, it's over here. Because you all know how much I love block printing. And so I wanted to also bring to you about doing block printing tonight. I did a block print show a while back, and I wanted to kind of show you again how you can incorporate that. So I'm not going to do the full process of block printing. I just want to show you an example of it, and you can go back. I think that video is still up on our in our Facebook library on how to do block prints. I don't know. We need to find out. If not, we may have to do that show again at some point. But what I usually do is I use blocks that are called Moo Carve, and you can get these again. This will be a Plaza or an Amazon purchase. I think I purchased this last batch. I got a whole case, whatever they call them, from Amazon. But you can go downtown to Plaza and pick these up as well. There's several different sizes of them, and they're rubber. They're just rubber blocks. Okay. Carving blocks. This one is a 4x6 and it's a 1/2 inch deep. Now I've already done a design in this one I wanted to use tonight because I thought this is pretty Christmassy. This could be a Christmas situation. I carved this one, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. Look, it'll stay rubbery and pliable and usable for years to come. So I've started creating my own blocks, and these are blocks that I can keep forever. I just kind of started building a library of these, and whenever I want to or need to, I can pull one out and use it I use them in paintings. I use them in a lot of different things. Tonight, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to do a block print. And this is one I cut out. Can you see it? It's stars. I thought that's very Christmassy. We could use that. So I'm going to, and I have my whole selection here of block print inks that I'm going to play with. And I'm going to use the silver, gold, red, and green. Which green do I want? I got a couple of greens in here. Black. May go with this green, with this red. Yeah. That's silver and that gold. Cool. We'll just go with that. Okay. Block printing is so much fun. So much fun. And you can either lay out the ink on your table here and then run your block through it, which is kind of the old style of block printing. I'm going to be a little bit more directional with this one tonight. I'm not sure directional is the right word, but intentional. I'm going to be a little bit more intentional with this tonight. So I'm going to try to quickly, I realize that we've got 15 minutes left. Pour me a little bit of red. A little bit of red. A little bit of green. Actually, I have a piece of plexiglass that I usually print on, but for tonight, for this, I'm just going to use this. Well, aren't I just a mess? Sorry. A little bit of the silver. And then a little bit of the gold. Okay. Now, I'll take my paintbrush. You can see this. I'm going to take my paintbrush, get into the red. I'm going to paint my star a red. And you want to get quite a bit of ink onto your stamp, okay? Because you got to transfer it over to your paper. So the more ink that you actually have on your stamp, the better the transfer will become. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to get a little bit smaller one, and I'm going to do the next layer out in green. You know, what I like about block printing is sometimes you don't need to be exact. You just need to be mindful of what you're doing. Yeah. So I'm going to do this. These are kind of Dr. Seuss Grinch colors, which I like. Voila. As such. I realize watching me do this is probably like watching paint dry. Sorry. Okay, here's that one. And then I'm going to come back and do a little bit of gold. I may not get to the silver tonight, but that's all right. I'm trying to do a little bit of a fast process here so y'all can see what this looks like. So I'm not being the neatest in the world. You know what? I do have an idea on the silver. So let's keep working with this. Okay. It's got the gold on there. And now for the silver, I'm going to take the silver and I'm going to do like this bigger outer edge. Kind of like the star is like really shining. It goes a little bit off the paper, which I probably, you know, that's a, okay, silver. I don't guess it really matters. I'm gonna go with this one. I'll go with it. There we go. As I said, quickly. So I'm going to take my watercolor paper. These are some pieces, again, same pieces that I cut up before. One thing you do want to do is you do want to like slightly spray these because you want them damp. You don't want them wet, but you do want them damp. So I spray them down, and I'll wipe them down just a little bit, kind of pat them dry. But I want them just a little bit wet, a little bit damp. I'm going to put that onto my block. Take your brayer. This is called a brayer. Okay. I'm going to roll my brayer across that. Fun part about this is that you really don't know anything about what you created until you've pulled the paper up from the block. But that to me is the magic, because I can do all kinds of things. There's another tool that you can use. This is like the old brayer system. where you rub it into the block. Sometimes I use a little bit of both just because I want to get a little bit. So let's see what we got here. Ready? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. That's actually much better than I thought it was going to turn out to be. And there's some extra ink on there, which will give it some really beautiful extra texture. You could do a really cool rubber stamp if you want to, or just hand write your message on to them, right? And say happy holidays. And again, take your cards and apply it straight to the card. Who would not love getting that for Christmas? How cool is that? I really, you know what? That might be my card for this year. God, I got a lot to choose from. So, you know, you can also just do watercolors, which is what I've done for years. Just do beautiful watercolor paintings, small paintings, incorporate them into the cards. Do something simple, just lines and stars and structure. Doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It's always just fun. And believe me, your special people will absolutely love you for getting those. I've got one of my artist friends, Susan Scoletta, has hand painted me a Christmas card probably for 20 years now, and I have all 20 of them. I keep them. I keep every one of them. I started to bring them up here tonight. I forgot to grab them, but I still have all of those. People don't throw away these things. They're memories forever. So start a new tradition in your home. Start a new tradition of making cards for your special people. I promise you they will love you for doing it. Again, you can always contact me, Glen, at caofb.org. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have and help you in any way that I can. This program has been provided tonight to you by the Community Arts of Bellevue. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that was started in Bellevue to promote and uplift the arts, the artists that exist in our community. And we want to make Bellevue a destination place for the arts. So we have a lot, we're a blank canvas. We got a long ways to go, but we're getting there in great ways. So thank you for joining me this evening. I hope that you enjoyed this. I certainly did. I always have a good time doing these things. Go on our website, which is also, I didn't say that earlier, which is Community Arts of Bellevue, which is caofb.org, just like my email address. You can probably Google it, Community Arts of Bellevue, and you'll find us. We're also on YouTube and Facebook. So become a member. We always love having members. Your dollars help support our organization and so that we can provide programming like this for you. I hope you all have a great evening. I hope to Zoom or something with you before the holidays end, before we get out of here. If not, I hope you and your family have a very happy holidays. Please stay safe. We're coming closer to an end to all this. I really feel that in my heart, and we're going to be okay. We're all in this together, right? So stay safe, stay well, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night. Thanks.